Hello everyone, I'm Claire Marie B and welcome to my channel. In this video today I'm going to be taking you through my July bullet journal setup and I'm going to be using some paint pens for this one. First of all, I've taken some craft paper and then I'm going to use the paint pens, they're brush paint pens. I'll put a link to the product as well in my description of the video. I've used these pens before, but this is the first time that I'm going to be using them for a full bullet journal spread setup. There's a few things that you might want to know when you're using this sort of pen. You can obviously do this setup using completely different pens. You can use felt pens, other brush pens. I'm using these paint pens because they showed up really well on the craft paper that I've got. So these paint pens though, if you use pencil underneath to draft things out in advance, as I usually do, you will you'll notice the pencil marks through the pen, and you can't then erase the pencil marks like you could do if you were using a felt tip pen or a standard brush pen with watercolor ink. Because this is effectively a paint ink, that's it. It's on there and it's over the top of your pencil. So everything that you're seeing today when I do these, the flowers and everything else, when I'm using these pens, I'm having to go freehand. And if you've watched my videos before, you know that's not something I would usually do. But I just decided to go for it this time and see what happened. So some of the flowers look better than others, but overall I kind of like the organic feel that I've got from the spread in the end. You'll notice that I went over the July lettering a couple of times just to make it really stand out with the white ink, as that one just was getting absorbed into the paper a little bit, so it just needed to have a few coats to make it brighter. Whereas the other colours, they work really well and just pop straight away. First of all, I've drawn out all of the flower shapes and all of the little leaf shapes that I wanted to, and then I'm going to go around the outside using my Pigma Micron and put some edging around them, which just makes the flowers stand out a lot more and look cleaner and crisper. For those really observant people who watch my videos, and I know some of you are going to notice I go wrong. But I didn't notice it until after I was doing my photo shoot that I miss going around the edge on one of these. I'm sorry, because it's probably going to irritate a few of you that it's there. It certainly was irritating me, and it's all I could see as I was editing the video. But I promise you I have now gone over it and it's all rectified. Everything is fine. So as you can see, I'm just finishing off going around everything with the black Pigma Micron and just finishing up that edging. This was a super fast spread for me. I mean, it still took me a little while, and obviously when I'm filming it takes a little bit longer for me to do these things, but in terms of the speed at which I could do this setup, it was a lot quicker than my usual ones. On to the calendar spread. This month I've decided to use the craft paper again and have this for the actual calendar, and then I'm going to do kind of like the reverse of the first page. I'm actually going to do the print of the flowers on the white background instead. So you'll notice when I've done the July lettering, if it shows up on the video, that's the one place where I did the pencil marks and then realised it's not coming off. So I learned my lesson. On the right hand side here, I'm doing some boxes. One of those is going to be for notes and one of those is going to be for a monthly to-do list. As this is a brand new bullet journal, I usually use my journals for 6 months at a time, so I've set up July in a brand new journal. I've needed to use my old journal on the right hand side just to prop my hand up when I'm drawing on the right hand side, because it helps keep that flat surface until I start to get through the bullet journal a little bit. Once I get about halfway through, then it really doesn't matter, and I don't need to have that prop, but for the first month or so it really helps to have the bullet journal on either side. And that's my calendar spread complete. Over the page and onto my mission control. I'm doing my trusty Dutch door again with my Instagram planner and my trackers on one side and the other. I have to say the last couple of months I've not been brilliant at this. I think I'm getting a little bit bored of the trackers, and then I've not really been focused. I seem to say I've said this every month for the last few months that I've been neglecting the Instagram. I think maybe I need to shake up the mission control spread a little bit maybe, or this month see how I go with the trackers and the Instagram planner, and if it's not needed then I may take it out next month and stop doing it. I found that with my calendar, when I wasn't using it as a double page spread very much, I took it out and started to just do a single page. And then after a few months, I really started to miss it. So I brought it back in again. And it may be that I just need to do something like that and understand the value that I have of those 2 pages. For some decoration on this page, I'm drawing out the flowers on the craft paper. I really didn't like the first version that I did of the first one, so I've decided to do it again. You will see when I do it. I'm not sure it's much better the second time. I don't know where. Yeah, I must have just been having a bit of a, I don't know, with that piece of paper. Just wasn't destined to have the flower in the way that I wanted it to be. I think it was better the second time, but it's still not the best version of the flower, but never mind, I kept it anyway. And then I'm just sticking those into the mission control pages. On the other side of the mission control page, first of all, I'm popping my Instagram planner on the reverse side of the Dutch door, and on the right hand side of the page I'm going to have my wellbeing spread. I've decided to take the study part out because I know what I'm doing with that. I don't really need to make a note. And I've just been finding that I've not been using it very much. So I've tried it for a couple of months. It wasn't working. So it's time to take that out and just focus completely on well-being. That also left me a little bit of space to have a bit more decoration on this page. So I'm including the craft paper right down the right-hand side, and then I'm putting the flower print all down that side as well. That's going to mean that when I flip the Dutch door backwards and forwards, this flower print on the right hand side is going to be visible, and the same if you look on the left hand side, you can see the flower in the top left square, and the whole of the goals section is going to be visible as well. So when I flip over either side, I'm going to still see what you can see on the left and right hand side. And that's my mission control. On to my memories page. I usually, as you know, keep this a really blank space. But this month I've decided to put a couple of extra things in advance. It's still going to be quite blank to start with, but by the time I get to the end of the month, it'll have a little more content than I usually have in a more structured way. So first of all, I'm drawing my box for the TV and movies. I'm making no change to that. On the right hand side of the page, I'm listing out my favourites there, and I'm going to put my favourite song of the month, favourite movie of the month, and favourite TV show of the month. I thought that might be a nice way to track what I've really been enjoying. Bottom right, the bullet points are going to be for some key events that happen, and I'm also going to be putting in the blank spaces some photos that I print out from the month of things that I've really enjoyed, my favourite pictures. And here's my final flip through. Thank you so much for watching today. If you liked my video, please hit like and subscribe to be notified when I release future content. I hope you have a fantastic July and catch you in my next video. Bye.